Hello and welcome to MMO FTW for May 4th, 2014. I'm your host, Bill Murphy, and this is the week that was in the top MMO news stories. When is Trion's Defiance going free to play? What's next for Elder Scrolls Online? What new MMO is CCP working on? Find out all this and more because this is MMO FTW. Get those guns and stims ready to head back into the Arkfalls. Defiance will be going free-to-play on June 4th for the PC. A little bit later it will be hitting free-to-play on the PS3 on July 15th, and it'll also be going free-to-play on the Xbox 360 at a currently undisclosed date, but soon. Perhaps this is how the game should have launched initially, but that's neither here nor there. Stay tuned for a full re-review this summer after the game goes free-to-play. For more details on what exactly is changing in the game's monetization model, head on over to MMORPG.com for our exclusive interview with creative lead Trick Dempsey. In Elder Scrolls Online news, Matt Firor took pen in hand, or took to the keyboard, to write a fantastic new letter that lays out the team's plans for the game throughout the balance of 2014. The list is long and impressive, and one that brings some of the most requested features into ESO before the end of the year, including new grouping mechanics that allow players to see one another even when phased, an armor and dyeing and tinting system, new dungeons, a new Craglorn trial, the Thieves Guild and Dark Brotherhood quests, and a whole more story added to the game, and much, much more. ZeniMax has clearly been listening to its community, and the list of quality of life improvements and additions to the game is pretty impressive. Whether or not they can actually hit all these marks, well, we'll just have to wait and see. Built on the foundations of Dust 514 and using most of the same development team, Project Legion is intended to provide a different experience. Our own Gareth Harmer spoke to senior producer Julian Borbanai at the Shanghai-based group intends to build EVE on the ground, creating a complex sandbox that fits with CCP's style. It's that player-driven experience that the team hopes will set it apart from other MMO FPSs currently available. That's right, they're finally getting a Dust 514 on the PC. It was announced in Iceland at EVE FanFest, and right now Project Legion is an early prototype, it's not even its final name, with the studio experimenting on creating the right tools for players to create their own metagame. Monetization and progression systems are also being developed. Although it will be free to play, the studio is strongly staying away from the pay-to-win model. I mean, who wouldn't say that? It doesn't spell the end of Dust 514 on the PS3 either, as further updates are still in the pipe for CCP's console-based shooter. We'll be going into further detail on Project Legion soon with a full interview from the producer and from Gareth. Sony Online Entertainment's Mark Tuttle wrote on the corporate site earlier this week to explain why he believes that the SOE All Access plan is a great deal. SOE users will be happy to hear that the All Access plan is now live for $14.99, and Tuttle went into detail about what exactly that subscription will include. First, it means your membership dollar goes a lot farther. For $14.99 per month, or less if you purchase multiple months at a time, players can now have top-tier access to all participating SOE games. This means if you want to take a break from sneaking around Araxis in your Stalker Cloak and test your mettle against the Dragon Nagafen, or the Joker in DCUO, you can do so with all the member benefits. And since your Station Cash wallet is good in all SOE games, you can drop some coin on a snazzy new outfit in EQ2 to announce, "Yes, I have arrived." To continue the awesome, as a member, players get 10% off of the market price of that item and all items in any of the marketplaces throughout all SOE games. So go ahead and splurge for that spiky hat and bunny mount. Those are all Mark Tuttle's words, not mine. However, it is pretty cool to see that you can now get an all-access subscription for one price across every game, whether they're free to play or not, giving you a bunch of perks and station cash to spend. We'll see how it works when it's added to everything, including EverQuest Next, in the future. And the latest update from Pantheon Rise of the Fallen team reveals the first ever demo prototype video. Brad McQuaid adds a bit of a caveat by acknowledging that it is a very early build and that the texture errors are to be expected. Even with that, it's a pretty neat look at a game that many hope to see fully funded in the near future, and clearly shows that the team may be slowed but is not stopping development completely. Brad McQuaid himself said of the video, "This is a very first rough draft of a longer video, using the latest build from 4/11/2014. Has some texture errors, purple stuff in one section, needs work, but is better than nothing and shows how far we got on the prototype demo. I plan on making a demo number 2, more thought out, polished, more ambient music, etc., but this needed to go out ASAP for a variety of reasons. So will Pantheon get funded? Will it see that angel investor they're so desperately seeking for this niche MMO title? We'll see. If anything, it shows that Brad McQuaid is not giving up on his new design direction. That does it for this week's top MMO and RPG news stories. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch at MMORPG.com without the dot. You can also find me on Twitter at TheBillMurphy. Thanks for watching, see you next week, and as always, don't let a bad pug get you down.